The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf.
We've mapped almost 20 structures on our concession just where we have seismic data. And these are very large structures we're testing. The Kavango structure for itself, for example, is almost 20 kilometers long and 5 kilometers wide. So significant prospects we're going after, and to get this amount of hydrocarbons in wellbore really tells us a lot about the promise of this play.
All right, welcome back inside our Proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Brian Reinsborough. He is the CEO of Reconnaissance Energy Africa, ReconAfrica. And Brian, good to see you again. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for having me back on your show.
Yeah, well, you've got significant news out today around the Kavango West 1X well in Namibia, and I'll let you take it from there because this is significant news, Brian.
It has been. It's been a long time to get to this point for the company. The Kavango well, we TD'd the well a couple of weeks ago and completed a very extensive logging program and disclosed those results today. And a significant hydrocarbon occurrence in the wellbore. We logged in two separate areas. This is 64 meters of hydrocarbon pay over a 400-meter section, which we're really excited about. And then deeper down the well, we encountered another area that is very intriguing to us, where we saw 61 meters of hydrocarbon shows. So that's a lot of pay and shows in one wellbore, and we are super excited about what we saw today.
Brian, I know that people have been really keeping an eye out for these particular releases on this particular well, just not only for your company, but also for Namibia as well. Can you sort of talk about the significance of what you're announcing?
No, you're absolutely right. There's been a lot of eyes in this well, as we've talked about previously. And it's really because of onshore Namibia, but also this play that we're opening up has great aerial extent. We've mapped almost 20 structures on our concession just where we have seismic data. And these are very large structures we're testing. The Kavango structure for itself, for example, is almost 20 kilometers long and 5 kilometers wide. So significant prospects we're going after, and to get this amount of hydrocarbons in wellbore really tells us a lot about the promise of this play. And it can really transform not only the company, but also the country of Namibia. So we're very pleased to be in this position after a long journey to get here.
Yeah. So what happens next now? What's the sort of the next couple of stages that people should be aware of?
Yeah, well, the results put us on success track on our planning. And what that means for us is we're going to do a production test on this well. It'll take 2 to 3 months to plan this and procure it. We'll set casing in the wellbore and selectively isolate intervals of interest and do production tests. What we want to achieve from that is to see how much these reservoirs can deliver in terms of rate, but also in terms of hydrocarbon phase, oil or gas, or some mixture in between the two. So that's our next big pivot point. This will be the first production test Namibia's ever done. So another big milestone for Recon as we are trailblazers in this region.
Absolutely. And lastly, Brian, I just want to ask you about, I know that last time you and I talked, you were talking about your excitement around what the work that you were doing, and you felt it was going well. Do you feel a bit of validation now as to what you're seeing here so far? I know there's still a lot of work ahead, but I know that this has been really close to your heart.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. This has been a very data intensive and thoughtful process we've been going through for almost 2 years now. I have to give a ton of credit to my exploration team, Chris Zabrinsky and his team. These are just top-notch explorationists, and we really dug into this play hard to understand the risk profile and what we could expect. So it is when you see a well come in like this in a new play, there is a sense of validation. We do have a lot of work ahead of us to really realize the full value of what's there. And we don't know yet because we have a ton of acreage in Namibia and another 6 million acres on the other side of Angola. So the running room here is really remarkable. It's hard to replicate that in this industry in this day and age. So we're pleased to be in the spot we are in. We work hard to get here as well. And when you see a well come in like this, it is very gratifying for the whole Recon team.
Well, as you said, lots of work done, but lots of work still ahead as well. Brian, thank you so much. Good to see you again.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Brian Reinsborough, the CEO of ReconAfrica.
The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings. and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf. It is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, an offer, or a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Viewers should conduct their own research and consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. The views expressed are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Proactive Group Holdings, trading as Proactive Investors or its affiliates. No responsibility is accepted for any loss arising from reliance on the information presented.